Okay.
What inspired you to get into music?
I think I've always loved music. I've always been a singer.
Mm-hmm.
I've always just, loved to play music and listen to different records, and yeah, just music has always been in my blood. I can say.
Oh, music is part of you.
Yes, music is part of me, and music also has so much power to, move people
Yeah,
and shift people's perspective on different things. I believe music is like one of the strongest forces in the universe.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
How would you describe the music that you typically create?
Oh, that's a really good question.
Uh-huh.
So my influences are definitely a lot. I draw influences from tarab and jazz and folk music,
Mm-hmm.
and a little bit of reggae, a little bit of hip hop. So my music is mostly alternative world. I can't really describe it honestly,
Mm-hmm.
but I know it's alternative.
It's
It borrows from a lot.
alternative.
Yeah, it borrows from a lot of sounds, but then it's alternative with a very strong presence of folk, which
Okay.
is present in the language. So I can say alternative folk music or world music, alternative world music also,
Uh,
because I don't think it can really be boxed. I think my music it transcends, like definition, if that makes sense, any
It's
sense.
diverse.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
diverse. Yeah.
What is your creative process like when you're making your music?
Well, that varies a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It could be triggered by something I see or something I feel or something I want to communicate to someone. It could
Mm-hmm.
be something that's going on in the world. Whatever, anything that, speaks to my spirit or affects my spirit inspires me to write music or to create music or to
Oh,
play music. Yes.
wow. That's really good. Uh,
Thank you.
what should you be doing right now if you weren't doing music?
That's a good question. I
Mm-hmm.
would be probably a journalist or a news anchor,
Okay.
or yeah, I'd probably be that, or I'd be like a scientist somewhere trying to save the world.
Okay. I'm sure you make a good journalist.
I hope so. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. What message do you deliver through your music?
My music tackles a lot of issues.
Mm-hmm.
Tackles issues of love, love lost, love found, unrequited love,
Mm-hmm.
of freedom, of awareness, of awakening, of emancipating the masses. It has aspects of, lost time, of faith, of hope, of love, most of all.
Yeah.
Tackles, all these things that we interact with, all these
Our
feelings,
emotions.
emotions, yes,
Yeah.
that we interact with every day, that I can feel, that you can feel. And even though you cannot understand, like if you don't understand the language that I sing in,
Mm-hmm.
I think through the vibration and the energy
You can
that the
still
music
connect
brings,
with your
it
audience.
connects. Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. What makes you different from other artists or your music? What makes it different?
Well, I mean, I believe that every artist is as they choose to be,
Mm-hmm.
and I wouldn't say I'm I don't know how I could say how is my music different. It's
Yeah.
just I don't know. It comes from an honest place. Let me say that,
Okay. Your music comes from a place of honesty.
from a place of honesty, from a place of love.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you collaborate with others and what is the process?
So far I haven't done any collaborations that are out yet, but
Mm-hmm.
I am already like I just released my EP. So
Uh-huh.
now I'm just like working. I've already started working with other people and other producers and other musicians whose work I like.
Uh-huh.
So we have to really vibe and get the energy right. We have to have like a mutual respect and understanding of the music and the music making process. If I like your work, I think I'm very open for collaborations. And hopefully, when I release an album, another one, now it's going to be just it's going to be full, maybe, or like with a couple of collaborations. Yeah.
Okay. And what challenges have you encountered so far in the process?
You mean as a black woman in a patriarchal world?
Yeah, like in the music industry, how do you How what
I was, I
challenges
was,
have
I
you
was,
seen?
I was, I was being sarcastic with that question, but yeah. I mean, if you're a woman and you're young and you have dreams and
Mm-hmm.
you're trying to navigate, the industry that already has rules and like things and standards that are set for you to become, it's not easy to create your own niche and do your own thing and stick to that.
Okay.
So I think I try. The challenges are many. People not believing that a woman can play nyatiti, for example, which I
Uh-huh.
took up and learned, or the bass guitar, or that you cannot be a band leader. All this, just there's so many stereotypes about what women cannot be. But for me, I think I see so much possibility in just being a woman and in other women, and then coming forth to, you know, to create spaces where other women or just everybody else can feel safe and can feel
Can feel safe.
accepted. Yeah, and also as an independent artist,
Mm-hmm.
finances can be really tough sometimes. Because as a live musician, you depend on that mostly.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess also now it gives you room to expand more in the things that you believe in or the things you want to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's an average day like for you?
That's an interesting question.
Mm-hmm.
So I wake up. Usually I have like a playlist that I like. So I like to just meditate on that,
Mm-hmm.
get my energy right for the day, play some guitar, answer emails, do a little bit of music work, check my stats, see what's going on in the
Mm-hmm.
world, spend time with my family, or I love to cook,
Mm-hmm.
or I'll just like be composing or jamming with other musicians.
Okay.
Yeah.
And have you dealt with performance anxiety?
Um, I have. I think I have had moments where I was unsure about myself or what I would offer. This was a much younger me.
And
I
how
still
did
get,
you?
yeah,
Oh, just continue.
yeah. So, I get anxious, but not because I'm fearful or I don't believe in what I can do,
Mm-hmm.
but just because sometimes I feel like what I have to say is so heavy and it's bigger than myself. And the only anxiety is maybe of me delivering it in the right manner.
Oh, and how do you go about it? Let's say you're anxious and you're in your delivery mode. How do you calm yourself, compose yourself so you can do it properly or perfectly?
I breathe. I have a mantra
Mm-hmm.
that grounds me and reminds me that this is the path I chose.
Mm-hmm.
And those that come before me, they guide me and they protect me, and I am fine. And I just, I have all these affirmations for myself that are true, that are honest, and I believe that if this path is what I've chosen, I can do it.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
And how do you interact with your fans and those who love you, love your music? How do you do it?
Some fans are really nice. They call you or they text you
Mm-hmm.
or they buy your work. So mostly via social media, or sometimes I also head out to see some of my friends who are artists who are playing, and I'm there for them. I support them, and through that, I also meet other people who are my fans. So I interact with them via like through gigs
Mm-hmm.
or just via internet. Yeah, and some personally who are close to me or who I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so far, where have you performed so far?
Uh, so far I've performed at Sofa,
Mm-hmm.
Sofa Nairobi.
Uh-huh.
I've performed at Kilifi New Year.
Mm-hmm.
I've performed at Nirvana Festival in Uganda. I have I've performed at the Alliance Francaise here in Nairobi at the National Theatre.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I have performed in a couple of places. I can't remember them all, but
Oh,
yes.
and out of all your songs, which one is your favorite to perform?
That now is a tough question because I mean there are some songs that I personally hold dear to me,
Yeah.
but I feel like all this the body of work, especially the EP that I just released, is like a very like each song has its own story and has its own emotion that was present during the writing. And I really love each and every one of the song. And each time I listen to it, I get like a different angle and perspective to it. I could say I have favorites, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't have like which is my best song.
Or you have favorites, but can I have a few of your favorites?
I definitely really like Aluoro from
Mm-hmm.
my EP, which is the fifth song. No, it's the sixth song.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just because, the nature of freedom and finding love and just like being free. I love the intro. It's
Mm-hmm.
called Amanyoyo.
Mm-hmm.
I love Ereo, which is the title of the EP. Look at me, I love them all. Iwala Wala is really cool also. I
Uh-huh.
think it's just like amazing, amazing music.
Yeah. So you
Yeah,
love them each in a different way.
exactly. Like how parents can really choose which kid they love the most as
Yeah.
much as they have a favorite
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
And which musicians do you admire and look up to?
I really like Kenyan artists. I love Nyotandogo, or
Mm-hmm.
just East African artists. I love Fadili. I
Mm-hmm.
love Achieng. I love Lady JD. I love Racy. I love Angelique Kijo. I love Susanna Owio. Um, wow, I love Sage. There's a bunch of also very good artists coming up from Nairobi. I like Bakita.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the list goes on
And on and on.
and on and on and on and on.
If you could change anything about the industry, what would it be?
I'll create more spaces for women to take up more space in the industry. There's not so many. I'll create more spaces and also advocate for more honesty in terms of like payment of artists and treatment of artists.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what do you enjoy most about being an artist?
That I'm free, that I'm speaking my truth, and people
Mm-hmm.
get to like that, and I get to travel and just sing, and I can
Mm-hmm.
pay my bills most times with just like music from the money
Okay.
from the music. I love that it's on my own terms, that I get to decide my happiness.
Mm-hmm. You're your own boss, literally.
Exactly.
And what else do you do apart from music?
Well, I teach guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, that's what I'm mostly doing, and I got a degree from university, but I haven't really used it yet.
Which one?
But I did disaster management in Maseno.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you've never put your degree into practice?
not really. I took a hiatus and wanted to follow music, and ever since it's just gone on and on and on. But hopefully, I can also at some point make that part of my day-to-day life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, what are your musical ambitions in the next few years moving forward?
I want to play the biggest festivals in Africa and the world.
Mm-hmm.
I want to travel and do tours. I want to collaborate with amazing artists. I want to make more music. I want
Uh-huh.
to play more instruments. I want to be like the leading artist in Africa.
I'm sure you will. I like your music.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Uh,
You've listened to the EP, yeah?
yes.
Wow, that's nice. That's nice.
We're almost finishing. Who would you like to collaborate with and why?
That's a good question. I like Burna Boy. I like his style. I like his sound.
Mm-hmm.
I like Andre 3000, who's a
Mm-hmm.
musician I've looked up to for a really long time in terms of his music production, just who and how he is.
Mm-hmm.
I love Fadili Ichulia. I think his music is really good, and I would like to make music together. Um, yeah, those are like the top, I think, of my list.
Okay, and you want to work with them in the future?
In the future, yeah, or even in the present. Yeah.
um, lastly,
hmm
any advice for artists wanting to follow your footsteps?
I can only say live your dream, live your truth, be honest about your interactions, be honest about yourself, be
Mm-hmm.
honest about what you stand for, stand by it, allow your spirit to lead you and guide you,
Mm-hmm.
and don't conform just because you feel like you have to. Be yourself and be secure with
Mm-hmm.
yourself. Yeah, and just know that you are the best version that there is in the world. And I don't think there's anything that's impossible to do
Yeah.
if you set your heart to it. Yeah.
Oh, that's very inspiring.
Thank
I'm sure
you.
the ones who listen to this interview will feel inspired, and they'll also listen to your EP.
Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you.
hope they will. Yeah.
It was a pleasure talking to you.
It was a pleasure too.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
You too. Have a great rest of the afternoon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.